What is up, fellas? JPS delivers here. Hopefully all is well. We got ourselves some Madden NFL 07. I know it's been a while for Madden games in general. My apologies on that. But we're doing a little bit of a recap on the playoffs. A win against the Ravens in the first round. Rams lose the Vikings. Patriots beat the Chiefs. Saints lose to the Seahawks. It's just pretty much as expected, except for the Ravens. And then we destroy. No, we don't do anything. The Falcons destroy the Minnesota Vikings in the next round. We beat the Steelers by only 3. It was a hell of a defensive game. Patriots against the Chargers. The Chargers ended up winning that one. You remember when the Patriots visited San Diego? I think it was around this time. It might have been literally this year. I think so, because Randy Moss and company, because Randy Moss got traded, or I believe so, or like Madden 2008 might have been the first year to where Randy Moss was with the Patriots. I think it was the next year. The Patriots visited the Chargers on the road. The Chargers were like 13-3, a team with a solid defense with like Luis Castillo, Jamal Williams, of course Sean Merriman before he decided to beat up Tila Tequila. And then you got, Quentin Jammer, Vasher, and stuff like that on that defense. A young Eric Weddle. A very good Chargers team. But, I mean, hey, Tom Brady and company, especially when you have Randy Moss and them, they're pretty much destined to make it to the Super Bowl, in which they eventually lose to the New York Giants. This time, though, fuck the Giants, fuck the Patriots, and fuck the Chargers for that matter. Just beat that team going up against the Atlanta Falcons. You remember, I think it was game 2 or week 2 of the season. Michael Vick and the boys, they had won last year's Super Bowl. I believe they beat the Indianapolis Colts, who happened to actually not make the playoffs. Our division was kind of like the NFC East. You're dealing with a bunch of teams with not amazing records that kind of beat up each other. But we're 9-7 headed in the playoffs. Second year with this team, a rebuild. And funny, I'm saying it now, 2 years removed from starting with this team with David Carr. In essence, it's basically what would this Texans team be like if they panned out with the David Carr, because David Carr was talented. I mean, if you get a good enough team around him, I feel like the Texans could have made more noise if David Carr was their quarterback, around the same timetable as this with his skill and talent, but with the team that Matt Schaub had. I think it would have been a different story. Maybe that team would have made the Super Bowl or something like that, just like we find ourselves against the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, this offense is just running. I mean, David Carr right here, not the best of plays, but it hits Owen Daniels square in the chest. Should have been a touchdown, but this is one of the better runs of the day, if not the best run. Beautiful blocking on the outside. It's going to highlight it right here. I think it's right guard Pitts. Just swings around the pulling guard. When you're going to have a halfback toss like that, get the pulling guard just pancaking dudes, and you already have that kind of open field with that talented of a running back as Dominic Davis, who eventually, I believe, calls himself Dominic Williams. Might have just been a typo or something like that, or I don't remember. But all I know is that he was a stud for this Houston team. And then right there, what I don't like is that I understand at the end of the day, it's a video game that runs on algorithms and whatnot. What a hit by Mr. Greenwood against Warwick Dunn. Just pretty much sending a message, trying to relay things. And speaking of relaying things, this guy is going to be a problem. Tubbs. I'm not talking about just the rest of this game, but you end up finding out, and I'm just going to tell you now because I find out. No spoiler alerts, of course. We got another 12 minutes of this video, fellas. But Mr. Tubbs, man, he's a rookie for Mike Vick. And they traded Roddy White to us last year. And he's starting to really pan out for us. We know what Roddy White ends up becoming in real life in the next few seasons. But to have him and Andre Johnson sick. But this Tubbs dude, I mean, I'm going to take this guy over a lot of players any day. Beautiful move by Cook. More so a shitty move by the defender. It's going to be a first down. But this Tubbs guy, I mean, he's like 6'7". He obviously outran our defense. Mind you, we have a couple slow safeties. I mean, Dante Robinson, Phillip Buchanan, two of the faster cornerbacks you're going to find in football. Get lucky right there. I feel like these safeties on this Falcons team are just not that good. Our tight ends are making noise. Puts her right there, puts her in the end zone. Nice play. Make that the first touchdown pass of the day by David Carr, who has been nothing but solid in these playoffs. I know he ended up having a great second half against the Baltimore Ravens. Held in there, didn't really turn the ball over much at all against a very great Steelers defense that didn't even need Michael Strahan, but somehow they signed him in free agency. It's one downfall of these games that there's really just seems like baseball. You can just pay up for anybody in free agency and just stay under the salary cap. But Roddy White on the outside. Solid players in Hakeem and who's the guy who returns for that? Is it Hakeem? It might be Hakeem. But Andre Johnson, easily the best player on the field right here at this moment. I don't even think D'Angelo Hall holds a candle to this man. Beautiful touchdown pass, more so beautiful catch, and it's 21-7 right away. That's one thing we've noticed. This team's very urgent. This Houston team, I mean, just getting to it. It's a very solid front seven. We have a couple young guys, including Walker out of Texas A&M. Remember, he was our first overall pick in the last draft. After the first season, remember, the team easily didn't make the playoffs, and we were like a top 10 pick. Safety out of Texas A&M, even though he's kind of built and has the athleticism and the stats of an outside linebacker, basically middle linebacker, like 83 speed tops. That's the reason why we got to make sure to utilize good coverage in the middle of the field with our linebackers. Walker is solid, great awareness for his age. He's going to be a solid player for years to come, but also too, terrible fumble. This team, I mean, 21-7, getting things done, but you just get plays like this with that fumble, and then plays like this. Tubbs is 6'7". He's large. He's like what, 2 or 3 inches taller than Megatron. The man seems like he's got great speed. He's got Michael Vick, who's like 99 overall already here in Madden 07. This was the year, I believe, or first season technically for like 2006 timetable that Mike Vick ends up going to prison because of the dog fighting scandal. And it all started with him getting, some reason it's just weird. It all starts with him just being at the airport and having like a dime bag type holder on the bottom of his bottle. I don't know why you would even have that to begin with. I don't know what the deal is. But it is what it is. Should have edited it out. But whatever, though. I think I wanted to show David Carr, though, 6 of 8 to start off this game. Still 5 minutes in the first half. 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. And that's not even counting the amount of yards we've gotten on the ground, including this nice 12-yard run by Mr. Morency. Okay, so that's the other guy, Mathis. Mathis is the returner for this team. He's a guy that's run some beautiful corner routes as well to get things done. But David Carr, he's a little shifty in the pocket. He's just not going to have the speed to outrun right there. It was kind of doomed from the get-go. But again, solid game by Walker. I talked about the one downfall of this secondary is that if there is a ball caught in like intermediate passing game, like 10 to 15 yards, there's a chance that it's going to be a touchdown just because our safeties just aren't fast enough. Like I said, Walker 83 speed. Earl is not even 90 speed. It makes it really difficult. I think that's a thing to focus on is if you're going to have a secondary, make these guys extremely athletic, and then you can build up their awareness later on. It just helps having a Phillip Buchanan and Dante Robinson, who each of them have at least like 96, 97 speed. That's just going to help you in the long run. Champ Bailey is a great video game cornerback because of that. He has the awareness and the speed, which is literally, for the badges in this game, it makes you a shutdown corner. That's all you need for the most part. He should be able to jump decently well. As long as you time jumps and batting down balls, you should be good to go. Nice first down right there. After the missed field goal and the touchdown pass to Andre Johnson, now make that 3 touchdown passes in the first half by David Carr. Nice play right here to Hakeem. Makes it a way more manageable 2nd and 4th after we did have that 1st and 20. I believe it was a 16-yard completion. It's going to be a first down here, and then a beautiful spin move. I mean, if you time the spin move right on a slant or anything, you could turn an 8-yard catch into a touchdown easily. Owen Daniels, great backup tight end for this team. He's more athletic than the starter. But on top of that, with Roddy White and Andre Johnson, it just helps to have so many of these targets. And Dominic Davis has like a good amount of catches in this game as well. This seems to be constantly the roller coaster of emotions of what is Atlanta Falcons fans in this one, except this time around, they're not winning by 3 touchdowns. They're down by 3 touchdowns at the start. I was hoping to pick the ball off, but he's been such an issue, Tubbs has, that I didn't see or seem fit for me to try to go for the interception. It seems like a lot of times if it's a hit or miss. I mean, if you miss that catch for the interception, it's going to be taken all the way down to the house, especially because we're dealing with safety speeds. Even trying to do a good angle on these guys, it's not working out. And a beautiful touchdown by Roddy White, up by, 21 points before Dominic Davis punches it into the end zone. Fellas, we're riding high. We are riding high. I know there's a decent amount of time left. We're dealing with Michael Vick. This isn't, Madden 2004 Michael Vick, but still great speed. You have this guy to deal with. I mean, it's another touchdown. It's another touchdown. I messed up with Philip Buchanan. I think I make the mistake of just not covering well down the field a lot of times. I'm able to read a lot of passes where, okay, another drop by a tight end. That stinks. Not Owen Daniels this time. It's our starter. But still, though, and this is another example of how much of a pain this man is. We're able to get a good angle on him. Nice first down, though. The damage is done, and so is it right here. He's basically a tight end. He looks like as if you threw LeBron James on the field. Dude's 6'7". He's all bit of like 230, 240, and he can outrun anybody. He's going to be a problem for years to come. He's a deep threat. He's obviously a red zone threat at his height. The speed is going to be able to make, 80-yard touchdowns, 90-yard touchdowns, 100-yard touchdowns. The dude is just beasting and feasting in this game. Andre Johnson, excellent talent, getting things done in this game. It's been great game management up to this point after that touchdown by the Falcons and now that 3-and-out. Now, out of anybody, fucking Finneran. I know we have Brad Finneran on our Falcons team for Madden NFL 2004, but just like that, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. A guy that has like maybe 88 speed, 89 tops. He shouldn't be running over the top like that. Especially he just lacks agility as well. It's just not good. But Andre Johnson, when you need him, makes the catch. He should be over 100 yards on the day. I know Roddy White had over 100 yards. It was just a well of a game by David Carr in this offense. But what can we do on third down? And here it is. Biggest play of the game. Fellas, we did it. We did it. There's the win. I mean, the Houston Texans are your Super Bowl champs. Up by 28 points at some point in the third quarter. Giving up 21 points, ironically, in this position to an Atlanta Falcons team. I mean, hey, this is pre-Super Bowl against Tom Brady and the Patriots, in which, up by 28 points or so. Now down by 28 points. It was scary to think if we were not going to be able to get that first down. But what an accomplishment. David Carr is well on his way to, just making history with this Houston Texans team. Obviously, history's already been made here. Super Bowl win. That's a sad team, but fuck them. They're going up against our Texans team with Gary Kubiak and company. Gig 'em, Gary Kubiak, Texas A&M quarterback of old. But this is a young Texans team. Mario Williams at defense has, DeMeco Ryans. You got a young Anthony Weaver on the outside. You have 2 old defensive tackles. Look at the stats in this game. I mean, it was a shootout for the ages, 42-35. That's some Los Angeles Rams shit against the Chiefs. Not St. Louis Rams in the mid-2000s because, Jeff Fisher was there towards the end. Don't want to be dealing with that shit whatsoever. But Jeff Fisher's on the Tennessee Titans at this point. So what the fuck do I know? 391 yards, 4 touchdowns. Great quarterback rating. Solid game by this man who first overall pick. Been dealing with so many guys like that. Dominic Davis, 2 touchdowns on the ground. He did have that costly fumble that turned into 7 points the other way for the Falcons. And Tubbs, we're going to get to Tubbs soon, but 109 yards by Roddy White. A touchdown on 5 receptions. Huge 60-yard catch. 4 catches, 96 yards, and 2 TDs by Andre Johnson. I mean, what a game by 2 stud wide receivers, especially Andre Johnson out of the U. And then right here, not many tackles, more of a team effort. Those middle linebackers, Cowart and Greenwood getting things done. Nice sack by Mr. Payne, who made the Pro Bowl at his old age. Right there, tons of big hits. This is a strong defense right here with Patrick Kearney, Keith Brooking, and Mr. Jimmy Williams on the cornerback blitz gets a sack on the day. But if you want to talk about a guy that could have won MVP on a losing team, just like the linebacker of the Cowboys. Can't remember his name, but the only guy to ever win MVP on a losing team. 7 catches, 239 yards, 4 touchdowns. The man could not be stopped. Michael Vick right there. You want to talk about not getting anything done on the ground, but he got 5 touchdown passes, 400-plus yards. What a game. What a season for these boys. 21 points, not enough. As always, fellas, take it easy. We got ourselves a Super Bowl.